Skillfoundry is not just another project. It is a product of my personal experience, years of research, and the challenges I discovered over 8 years of working as a software engineer and software career instructor. When I began my career, I had the desire to learn, but desire was not enough. I did not always know what to learn, where to begin, which resources to trust, or how different skills connected to the career I wanted to build. Over the years, I saw the same problem repeatedly among students and aspiring professionals. Today, there are thousands of courses, videos, books, tutorials, and learning platforms available online. Anyone can search for information, watch a video, or enroll in a course. But having access to information does not mean having direction. Learners are still asking, what should I learn? Where should I start? Which resource should I trust? How do I remain consistent? And after learning, how do I prove what I can actually do? The problem is no longer simply access to information. The real problem is direction. I also discovered that learning alone is not enough. At one point in my career, I had gained different skills, completed several projects, and invested significant time in learning. But I did not know how to connect those experiences, document my progress, or present credible evidence of my abilities. I had skills, but I did not have enough organized evidence to support the claims on my CV. And that exposed me to the risk of losing valuable career opportunities. That experience taught me something important. To become career ready, people must do more than consume information. They must practice. They must build. They must receive feedback. They must document their progress. And they must be able to prove what they can do. That is why I built Skillfoundry. Skillfoundry is an AI-powered guided learning and career development platform designed to take learners from career interest to practical ability, and from practical ability to career readiness. It is not another marketplace filled with disconnected courses. Instead, Skillfoundry helps every learner answer four essential questions. What should I learn? In what order should I learn it? How can I practice what I am learning? And how can I prove that I have gained the skill? A learner can begin with a career goal, such as becoming a software engineer, product designer, data analyst, AI engineer, cybersecurity specialist, digital marketer, or project manager. They can also begin with a specific job opportunity. Imagine finding a job that could transform your career, but you do not fully understand some of the skills, technologies, or responsibilities listed in the description. With Skillfoundry, you can upload or paste that job description into the platform. Skillfoundry analyzes a role, identifies the required competencies, compares them with your current experience, and determines the skills you still need to develop. It also considers your current level, how many hours you can realistically commit each week, your preferred learning format, and when you want to achieve your goal. It then transforms that career goal or job description into a structured, personalized learning roadmap. A job description is no longer just a list of requirements. It becomes an actionable pathway toward the opportunity. Depending on the learner's goal and availability, the program may last several weeks or several months. Foundational knowledge comes first. More advanced concepts are introduced only when the learner is ready. The learner no longer has to wake up every day wondering, what should I study next? Let me walk you through a live demonstration of the Skillfoundry project.
Okay, so this is the registration page of Skillfoundry. So we've built this beta phase of the application to get feedback from users as we are aiming to address pain points and improve the usability and the value of the platform. So over the last 6 months, we've been inviting some users, some beta users to this application to use and give us feedbacks. And so far, we've had a lot of feedbacks and critiques, positive and negative feedbacks that we're going to work on. So this is how the application works. And we'll be releasing a new phase in, let's say, in a week time. Okay, so now you enter your email and your password. So here you can paste in what you want to learn. Let's say you want to learn Python, web development, anything you want to learn, just write it here. Or you have some job description somewhere that you've seen. Maybe the user likes the salary and wants to get the required skill for this job, and he doesn't know how to go about it. Okay, so he will just need to pick the job description and paste it here. I have copied the job description already, and I'm going to paste it here. You can see this is a job description. Okay, this is job description. I just copied it from LinkedIn, from a job advert on LinkedIn. And I have want to state my current level. This will define the strength and the mode of delivering this course to you. And we'll have, let's say I have 5 hours per week or 3 hours, any of them. And then I have goal. My goal is job ready. And these are the different use cases that this application serves. And learning style, do you want only video text? I want a mixed content. Okay, so I've entered this. I'll create my account right now. It takes just a short while to create an account. So right now my account is ready. I'll go ahead to generate my learning plan. So that takes a short moment to generate a learning plan. I'll have to. All right. So the learning plan right now has successfully been generated, and here you can see the progress on the course. You can see the current week, the number of lessons completed, and the quiz completed. So this dashboard gives a very short insight to the progress of the user so far. Okay, so we can have this is the week one. So it has created a learning plan across 12 weeks, considering the number of hours the user has per week. Okay, so we're going to use continue to enter this. This is for week one, and it will generate the content for week one. So the content for week one has been generated, and this is the topics that we need to learn in week one. And we also have the resources that we need to read. This is just an article for week one, recommended article for week one. And it just got this online, all right? So it goes around the internet, look for courses and content that match these according to what the user wants. And these are descriptions, so we can just click on start. So here we're going to wait for the content of week one to be generated. It has already generated a topic outline for week one. So right now the content, which is the text content, the resource, the quiz, the practicals, the examples, will be generated shortly. So all necessary content for week one has been generated. All right, you can see it here. This is the content, text content that needs to be read and joined with the resources article that was suggested. So we also have an example here. This example is a simple real life breakdown to explain this further. And going forward, I'm also going to have a chatbot around here that the user can interact with for further explanation. And also, in case the user desires to have a visual explanation, like a video to explain this further in a visual way, okay, we'll also have a bot here that generates video with this content, and have a practical task that the user can just do on his own. And all these will make up for what the knowledge that is required to answer this knowledge check. All right, so this knowledge check will be given to the users for each of the topics. And at the end of the topic, we're going to have a professional standard examination based on the skill set that the user wants to learn. So I'm going to answer this right now. So your ability to answer this correctly, if you don't get everything correctly, I think we have a pass mark of 60 or 70%. And if you're not able to do that, you will proceed to the next topic. So you have to regenerate the question and rewrite the test. So wow, I got all correct, 100%. You can see that. So if I click on continue learning, I will go back to my dashboard, and here in the dashboard, the learning progress is coming. So here in the dashboard, I have the progress. If I continue to week one, I think I've finished all the content in week one right now. So I just have one content to write, or I just click on complete week one, and I will proceed to week two. So you can see this is week two, reading resources for week two as well, and what I need to learn. So if I go back to dashboard, let me go back to dashboard here. Consider week one is completed. This is the progress so far. 8% of all the content I'm currently in week two. These are the lessons, and the quiz is completed. Okay, so here you can also connect your social media, and at the end of the whole stuff, you can print your certificate, and it gets printed for you, and more other things that we're going to be explaining about this project.
Next, Skillfoundry provides a clear daily and weekly learning pipeline. Each lesson can include learning objectives, clear explanations, examples, practical guidance, supported materials, and carefully selected external resources. We are not building Skillfoundry to replace platforms such as YouTube, online course providers, books, technical documentation, or other educators. These platforms have already helped solve the problem of access to educational content. Skillfoundry solves a different problem. It organizes learning, places resources in the correct order, introduces accountability, tracks progress, and connects learning to career readiness. It helps learners find the right resource for the right topic at the right point in their journey. Think of Skillfoundry as the intelligent learning layer that transforms disconnected educational resources into one personalized pathway. Throughout the journey, Every learner has access to an AI learning assistant that understands a lesson being studied. The learner can ask for a simpler explanation, request a practical example, compare two concepts, generate another exercise, or understand why an assessment answer was incorrect. But Skillfoundry goes beyond explaining information, because people do not become job-ready by consuming content alone. They become job-ready by applying what they have learned. That is why practical work is introduced throughout the learning journey, not as one overwhelming project at the very end. Learners complete smaller tasks, exercises, projects, technical challenges, and real-world case studies as they progress. They also complete assessments that help determine whether they genuinely understand material or have simply moved through it. Watching a video is not the same as learning. Opening a lesson is not proof of understanding. Learners must apply their knowledge and demonstrate what they know. For career paths with recognized professional qualifications, Skillfoundry can also support professional certification preparation through structured practice, mock assessments, gap identification, and readiness tracking. The platform records lessons completed, practical work submitted, assessment performance, learning milestones, and areas requiring improvement, and the learning journey can adapt. When a learner struggles, Skillfoundry can introduce revision exercises, additional explanations, supporting resources, or a more manageable schedule. When a learner demonstrates strong understanding, more advanced material can be introduced. If their availability changes, the program can be reorganized. The learner is not forced through a rigid, one-size-fits-all curriculum. The learning path adapts to the learner, and as learners progress, Skillfoundry helps them build a professional portfolio continuously. Every completed project, practical task, assessment, milestone, and demonstrated competency can contribute to their evidence of learning. They do not need to wait until the end of the program before thinking about a portfolio. It grows gradually throughout the journey. A recruiter or potential employer can see what the learner studied, what they completed, what they built, and how they performed. A CV contains claims. Skillfoundry is designed to help learners support those claims with credible evidence, and the opportunity extends beyond individual learners. Organizations can use Skillfoundry to create structured learning programs, develop employees, assign learning paths, monitor progress, identify skills gaps, and measure workforce readiness. Managers can understand who is progressing, who needs additional support, and which teams may be ready for new responsibilities. Lecturers, universities, and training institutions can also create more guided and accountable learning experiences. Instead of simply giving students questions that can be answered instantly using AI, educators can create structured journeys where students study assigned materials, interact with lessons, complete activities, take assessments, and submit practical work. This helps institutions use AI as a genuine learning partner, not simply as a shortcut for producing answers. We have completed an initial beta phase, and users have already interacted with Skillfoundry and provided feedback. We are using that feedback to improve the platform, strengthen the learning experience, and provide access to higher quality resources. But our vision goes much further. We are building a complete learning and career development ecosystem, one that connects career discovery, personalized curriculum generation, quality learning resources, AI guidance, practical work, assessment, accountability, portfolio building, and employment evidence. We do not believe the world simply needs another platform filled with more disconnected content. The world needs a system that can take someone from interest to understanding, from understanding to practical ability, and from practical ability to career readiness. For learners, Skillfoundry provides a clear path. For employers, it provides better evidence. For organizations, it provides measurable workforce development. And for educators, it provides a more guided and accountable learning experience. Skillfoundry is not about helping people consume more content. It is about helping them learn with direction, practice with purpose, build with consistency, and prove what they can do. We are building the infrastructure that connects learning to opportunity. That is the future we are working towards. That is Skillfoundry, from learning to career readiness.